Hey, what's poppin', YouTube people? We are back with Adventures in Dating, okay? Now, I've taken a couple days to try to gather my thoughts on the subject of today's video, and I haven't had much success. Okay, I'm still kind of scatterbrained here, but I don't script these, alright? I just shoot straight from the hip, so we'll get right into it. So, I had been in this off and on friends with benefits type situation with this girl. We'll call her Tammy. Now, Tammy's in her mid to late 30s. I get all the time. I'm 40 myself. I get all the time that I don't look nearly that old. Uh, you know, got that baby face. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, she's a grown woman. Mid to late 30s, and she'd been over to see me. A few times in the past couple weeks. We have a good time together. We get along pretty well. And so she shoots me a message and she's like, "Hey, do you want to come stay the night with me at my place? I got a bottle of wine. I'm going to get my drink on a little bit." And I thought, I wasn't crazy about the idea. One, because there's like a handful of other people that live there. I'd been over there a couple times before, but we'd always went directly back to her room, to hang out. And, but hell, the last time I had been there, there's a couple like teenage boys that live there. Uh, the nephews. Um, the younger of the two, we'll call him nephew 2. 15, 16 maybe, and the older one, nephew 1, is like 18 years old, I would say. Last time we were there in her room, one of them comes, knocks on the door, like, "Hey, what are you doing in there?" And then not too much later, the other one attempts to just walk directly in. Thank goodness the door was locked at the time. So I'm not like thrilled about going over there, but at the same time I thought, she comes over here to see me. She puts up with me. She comes over here to see me, visit me, uh, and doesn't really ask a whole lot of me. It's just like, well, maybe this is the least I can do. I'm gonna put myself out there, step outside of my comfort zone. I told her I don't know if I want to stay all night. I've got a dog here. I don't want to leave Sass alone all night long, but I will come spend some time with you. I'll come hang out with you. And so she gets off work. We roll over to her place. We go in, get settled in. Now, right away, like, it's crowded. Okay, there's like 2 other grown adult females that live there, right? Uh, One is like a very close friend of hers that I'm acquainted with and I get along with reasonably well. And then there's this older lady that's like staying with them. And there's the 2 nephews. And then there's like some young girl, like a child. Uh, Everyone is talking to everyone, like right away. Before I even have an opportunity to like get settled in and perhaps be comfortable, everyone is talking to everyone. So voices are raised, and there's like lines of conversation going every different direction. You can't, to the point where you can't even follow who's talking to who and what the hell's going on, right? So I'm already highly uncomfortable. Anxiety starting to come up. I have legit social anxiety. And, she's up against me, got her arm around me, trying to get them good cuddles, you know what I'm saying? And we're not there, but maybe 15 minutes, and each of the 2 nephews on 2 separate incidences pop off with an inappropriate sexual comment aimed at Tammy. Like, "Yeah, Tammy like so and so in the bedroom," or "Yeah, what turns Tammy on, blah blah blah," and rubbed me the wrong way and kind of caught me off guard, like I didn't know how to process it, right? But it struck me clearly inappropriate right away. I don't know if they were doing it to like get a rise out of her or to get a rise out of me, maybe, but it was like water off her back. Like, it didn't bother her, it didn't faze her. So that tells me that this was nothing particularly out of the ordinary for them to speak to her that way. Okay? So, yeah, I'm like okay, like, all right, what's going on here? Uh, in no time at all, nephew one, the older of the two, he's like poking and prodding at her while she's pressed up against me. So he's violating both of our personal space. What he's doing is he's baiting her into physical play, right? And it works. It's effortless on his part. In no time at all, she's chasing him around the house, and they're both laughing and giggling and wrestling, play fighting. Really rubbed me the wrong way considering, the offhand comments they've already made toward her. Okay? But I'm like, I don't know how to take this. I've never really had any, engagement with either one of them before. So I'm on edge and trying to piece together what the hell is happening here. Like, what did I walk into? I have no idea. At one point, she's passing around the bottle of wine. Nephew one plays like he's going to dump it down the sink. She gets legitimately pissed about that. Not about the inappropriate sexual comments, but gets legitimately pissed about him threatening to pour the wine down the sink and goes off on him. They resolve that temporarily. They're all kind of hanging out in this the kitchen space, and nephew one, he wants to pop her back, okay, but he wants everybody to know he wants to pop her back, like he's got to make a scene about it. He said, I can pick her up. She's a big girl, okay. So I can pick her up. I can. Okay, well, good for you, buddy. Like, I don't know if he was trying to imply that I couldn't pick her up or that I couldn't pop her back. I don't know what angle he was going for there, but so, and she was like, yeah, he can pick me up. So he lifts her up and pops her back, and she would try to come up to me and give me some attention. And each time that she did this, he would be right back up in her space, baiting her into wrestling around with him again. And they'd run after one another around the house and be wrestling and goofing around. So this is just rubbing me the wrong way. I don't know what the hell, bizarro world that I've stepped into, but I'm as uncomfortable as I could be, and my anxiety is through the roof. At one point, the younger of the two nephews pops off with another sexually inappropriate comment. Right? Now these are her nephews, okay? Pops off with another sexually inappropriate comment aimed at her, as a joke. And her answer to that is to go over and scoop his legs up, and he's sitting down in a chair. Scoop his legs up off the floor and spank him. Okay, and at this point, her bestie that lives there, even she says, that was a little fucked up, Tammy. And I'm trying to make eye contact, with the friend. I'm like, right? Right? Not just me here? Okay? Because no one else is batting an eye, all right, about any of this. And I'm the next time she comes up to press herself up against me, I'm just kind of at this point, I'm rigid and I'm trying to look at her what the fuck are you doing, right? What are you doing? And, so yeah, she's trying to be up on me and give me some attention. And right on cue, nephew one comes through again, walks by us, and very intentionally and blatantly brushes her breasts with his elbow, okay, as he walks by. And she calls him out on it. What the hell was that about? What did you do that for? And he's like, what? I didn't do nothing. And she's not upset about that, right? She's just calling him out. But did nothing to dissuade him or threaten him or let him know that he was out of line or being inappropriate. And I'm just kind of looking at her do I fucking know you? What is going on right now? I'm at a loss, okay? Shortly later, They get into it again over the wine. There's another little scuffle. He's got to instigate another round of rough play. And it ends with her like either sack tapping him or like tossing something at him that like caught him in the groin. And he goes down, knocks into the table the wine bottle is sitting on the way down. It falls on the floor, spills all over the floor, okay? So now people are getting up and trying to push past each other and yelling at one another and cussing one another and trying to clean up a mess in the kitchen. And I was just like, I don't know what backwoods, redneck, incest fest that I've found myself in, but I've got to get the hell out of here. Like, I'm in trouble. You know the meme? I'm in trouble. So I walked towards the door. I said, I'm stepping out. She goes, is everything okay? I said, I'm stepping out. Okay? I go outside. I had one beer with me. I had the one beer with me. So I step outside. I'm like hanging out in the driveway, drinking my beer. After about 5 minutes, she comes out. She's like, what's wrong? Like, what's bothering you? I'm like, you don't know what's bothering me right now? You can't put that together for yourself? She has no idea. I am full on like experiencing an anxiety attack at this point. Like, it took me like a full 5 minutes to even be able to speak and express myself at this point. And I told her, I said, first of all, and this is the least of our problems here, but first of all, it's loud, it's chaotic, it's crazy, it's crowded, okay? It's too much. Second of all, and I didn't know how else to put this, and I was aggravated and disturbed, and I told her, I said, second of all, you're too busy chasing around your boyfriend to even have any time for me. And that pissed her off pretty good. That set her off. Oh, we've always played around that way. We always play around like that. That's how me and my nephews are. I'm like, that doesn't make it okay. I told her, I said, it's inappropriate. It's weird. It's disturbed. I said, it's gross. I told her straight up, I said, it's gross. I told her, I said, I'm out. I'm bailing. Okay? And I bounced the hell out of there in a hurry. Right? I got home and I was so on edge that I paced the floor for 30 minutes before I could even sit down. Every bit of 30 minutes before I was even able to sit down. And I was like on edge, bothered and disturbed by the whole thing for the rest of the night. The next morning, I shot her a message. Not because I had any intention of seeing her again or thought there was any explanation that she could possibly offer, but because I had to get to the bottom of it, right? So I was like, do you want to talk about the shit that went down over there last night? She's like, yeah. Like, how about when you said that my nephews were my boyfriends? And I'm like, yeah, that. Let's start there. And I went off. I directly called her out. I was like, both of them made inappropriate sexual advances, both of them made inappropriate sexual comments to you. And the older of the two made a blatant sexual advance on you. Not to mention popping your back and play fighting, all around the house. While you're chasing them around and giggling. I said, do you think it's appropriate? What happened? What went down? Do you think it's appropriate the way they behaved toward you? And do you think it's appropriate the way that you behave towards them? Yes or no? And I was not getting a yes or no out of her. She would deflect. She would try to reframe the question or just brush it off, but I was driving it in. Yes or no? Is that appropriate? Yes or no? Is that appropriate? And she just completely shut down. And I was getting ready to blow her off entirely. I don't ever want to hear from these creepy weirdos ever again, any of them. And guess who I get a call from? Right? Can you guess who rings my phone? Right? Nephew 1, right? right on cue to defend her honor. I don't know what the F you're talking about. I don't know why you got a problem and you're running your mouth, and nobody was inappropriate, and if you got something to say, we can settle it like men. At this point, I've lost my damn mind. Like, I'm just thankful that I got the hell out of there before I was sexually assaulted, okay? But I snapped back with some smart-ass fucking reply and blocked the both of them immediately. I need to cut that out of my life as fast as possible before I end up on some kind of watch list, right? Like, yeah. I still don't know what to think about it all. I'm still like, my mind is boggled. I don't even know what else to say. That's pretty well the end of this tale. I don't know how much humor you'll find in this one. It sure as hell wasn't funny for me, right? But, maybe this is more of a try not to cringe challenge, right? If you can make it through this without wincing, okay? Then mad props to you, alright? I don't know if it comes across as downright creepy and gross as I've, let on here, but you can let me know in the comments below. But then again, you weren't there. I was. It was bizarre. So yeah, there's that, and cut myself out of that situation real quick. I think that's all I got for you this time. Yeah, good talking to you people, and yeah, that's it. Peace out.